Hi guys, welcome to the fourth lesson on this course. Here we're going to start with the materials and the colour. So go to Create, Material, and we get this panel. Uncheck any other option that isn't colour. So we'll select a black colour like this and apply this to the plane. With Ctrl, duplicate this material. And let's go inside the material editor. Now, uncheck the colour and activate the luminance option. And here select Fresnel. And in here we can choose the colours we want to add. Just click on the white here and change it to, for example, quite a bright green. Okay? And the other one, we could give it a pinkish colour just to see how it looks. Or we could try this red. And this will be for the sphere. Let's take a look through the camera. Okay. But we're just missing the other spheres, the floating ones. The good thing is that as the planes are instances, when we change the material here, then they all change. Now what we're looking for is to make the edges of the polygons visible. So to simulate that virtual reality effect. So we'll go on to do that in just a moment. But actually, before we do that, we need to fix something. So as you can see, the balls, the spheres, only appear on the first plane. So we need to organize this so that they appear on the rest of the planes too. Let's tidy up this panel here. Okay, take the cloner and duplicate it. Now we have two cloners. And remember that here in cloner, we just need to put the plane in here. And we'll do that with each one of them, with the rest of the planes. Duplicate the cloner again. Go inside cloner. Place the plane inside. Okay, I think it's this one. There we go. Again, duplicate. And the next one. And finally the last one. The fourth one. So now we have all the spheres all over the scene. So you see, by accident, I've changed the camera. This can happen if you go into the wrong tab. You just need to put it back in place. Okay, so take the camera and just place it again where it needs to go. Okay, here seems fine. Okay. So just be careful with that so the same thing doesn't happen to you. Okay, let's take the plane and duplicate it. Then we'll go to this icon here and apply atom array. Select the atom and we'll drag it down here. Putting the plane inside the atom, we've ended up with this kind of grid, this mesh. And doing this, we get this very science fiction looking scene. I think it reminds me a little bit of the movie Tron. It's a very polygonal landscape. So let's remove this material from the grid. And now with the atom selected, we could change these values here, like the cylinder radius, so the thickness, 0.1. And here 1. So we have what we're looking for without such an exaggerated effect. Let's take a look. So like this, it's a bit subtler. It even reminds me a little of the old AutoCAD. We can also add color to this, obviously. So select this material here, Control to copy it, or to duplicate it. In the panel, uncheck the color and select luminance. Let's give it a green color. Or maybe blue or yellow. Actually, let's go with yellow. Okay, place the color here in Atom, and you see the color is applied. So right now, I want to make sure the camera is placed properly as it moved before. So I'll go into the camera. And I see there is a problem here. Maybe we could raise the camera slightly. Remember, you can also change the seed easily to distribute the objects differently. Okay, let's go to the camera and we're going to make some adjustments to it. So here we have the properties, the options for the camera. So for instance, we could select super wide, which changes the view quite a lot. Just have a look at the different options. Some of them aren't any good to us. I quite like this one. So I'll leave it. Okay, so if we go back to the beginning a bit, back to our plane, here we had the displacer, which we can also adjust. If we widen it here, we get a different kind of effect. So you could also make the path narrower. So we have all this part finished now. We'll leave the camera, then we'll make another sphere. We'll add another material to it. In this case, Fresnel. Let's choose this orange color, for example. And another one, a yellow tone. And we'll apply this to the sphere. And this sphere is going to be an object like the sun. So we'll make it bigger. Okay, let's take it to the end of the path. Now enlarge it. Let's go to the camera and we can see how it will look. From here, we can make it bigger again. And we can also push it further away. Remember, you can use other views to see how it looks from different angles and work more comfortably. So just play around with it until you're happy with the position. You could add a sun, you could add a moon, whatever you like. Okay, let's increase the segments of the sphere so it looks more circular, not so square. And here you can see that in some areas the grid, the mesh, isn't visible. So what's happened is at some point we've touched the properties of this other plane. So we need to put this plane in here. Take this one out. And there we go. Now the effect is applied everywhere. So again, just be careful with that. Let's go to the camera. And here you see that the spheres are a little elongated. This is an effect of the camera. So just bear that in mind. See how it changes if we change this? Okay, so now we could add sky to the scene. So we'll go here to physical sky. Put it back to frame 0. A bit further up. And to this sky, we'll add a time and location, so it looks like it's nighttime. So go here to time and location. If you change the clock, then the sky changes too. And we're looking for a starry sky. So at 3:30 in the morning, we get this nice starry sky. You can also activate or deactivate the horizon line. You can't really see it here anyway, so it doesn't matter. But we'll deactivate it just in case the camera moves and you might be able to see it behind the mountains. If you lower the ozone, although it's not a huge difference, the stars will become more visible. Here in detail, if we activate show stars, then we can increase brighten stars so that we can see them even more. In radius, you can also increase the size of them. Let's just do a test so you can see the effect. So now they are really big. That's not what we want, obviously. We just want something smaller and subtler like we had before. You can also show the constellations like this. So we can see one there. If we turned the camera, then we'd see the rest. You can change the color of the constellations. Let's just change it so you can see the effect, but we're not going to include this. So like I said, if we go to the beginning, then we can see more constellations. You can activate it if you want, but I'm not going to, so I'll uncheck this. Now let's go to basic and down to fog. And when you activate it, you get a new tab. A fog could look interesting if we choose the right color. So let's go for a blue tone. Let's see if we can see anything. We need to adjust these values here so we can make the fog visible. So we could make it begin before frame 0. And we could set the end to 300, for example. I put it before frame 0, so the fog starts to form early, as it sometimes takes a while. So if we started at frame 0, then we might not see it properly. So start at minus whatever you like. You can also adjust the density of the fog. So just try out different things and see how it looks. Okay, we can see it a bit more there. We can see it quite far away though. So let's adjust the distance. We can try and see the fog closer. We want it to be all over the scene. Okay, let's adjust these points here. Put them all up, and let's see how it looks now. So see how you can start to see the fog? So carry on making adjustments to this graph to get the effect that you want. Let's play around with this, just try out different things. Let's put 3000 here. We'll change this one too. And now you can see the difference. It's changed quite a lot from how it was before. Maybe we could put a 2 here. Let's see how it looks with 1000 here. Okay, I think this looks more interesting. If you like, you can carry on adjusting the values, but I'm happy with the result at the moment. The density is important too. You can increase it. If you increase it, then you get a thicker fog. And if we change the color, then obviously the color of the fog will change too. Okay, so I think it's now a very interesting looking scene. I'm quite pleased so far, so I think we'll leave it for there. And in the next lesson, we're going to add some more things. another effect, and then we'll be exporting the result to After Effects to finish it off. So I'll see you for the next lesson.